25 miles. It doesn't sound like that far of a distance, right? If you're on a long road trip and you see a sign that says you're 25 miles away from your destination, you're probably thrilled. 25 miles is about the distance from downtown Punta Gorda to downtown Fort Myers. It's less than the distance runners cover during a marathon. That's 26.2 miles. 25 miles is also the difference between the minimal storm surge much of Southwest Florida saw during Irma and the worst case scenario we all feared coming true. First things first, storm surge. What is it?
This is a video, I believe, of storm surge in Marco Island. You can see the water coming up 2 homes here in Marco. Again, we were talking about the threat.
Simply put, it's the push or surge of water from the ocean, or in our case, the Gulf of Mexico, inland, thanks to a nearby or landfalling hurricane. Think about it. Under normal circumstances, we have the Gulf of Mexico there, a small strip of beach, a slight rise of elevation, and then buildings, condos, restaurants, etc., etc. That slight rise in elevation and the force of gravity, it's all that's keeping the water there and where I'm standing on dry land. When a hurricane hits, its strong winds can drive the water onshore, providing more than enough force to overcome the small rise in elevation and the forces of gravity. The larger the hurricane and the stronger the winds, the more water it will push onto land. And thanks to our very low elevations across Southwest Florida, we face an extreme storm surge threat. Which brings us back to Irma and the 25 miles that made all the difference. Irma, of course, made landfall on Marco Island. That meant the worst of the onshore winds and the worst of the storm surge occurred across southern Collier County and Monroe County, from Marco Island eastward. But what if the center of Irma had moved only 25 miles to the west and instead made landfall on Sanibel, as many models before the storm suggested? The entire stretch from Sanibel south to Marco Island would have faced hours of strong, pounding onshore winds on Irma's eastern and southern side, and the resulting storm surge would have been devastating. So what would that storm surge have looked like? Well, under the worst case scenario, here on Fort Myers Beach at the brand new library, the storm surge would have been over 9 feet, putting me and much of the first floor of this building underwater. But it's not just the beaches that have to worry about storm surge. Here in the South Cape, my friend Big John stayed on dry land during Irma. But if Irma went just 25 miles to the west, myself and Big John would be standing in 3 to 6 feet of water, forced from the Gulf of Mexico up the Caloosahatchee and into Cape Coral. So did you, like many countless others, evacuate prior to Irma? Good, you made the right choice. And remember, you weren't ordered to evacuate because of Irma's winds or the flooding rain. You were ordered to evacuate due to the potential life-threatening storm surge. Next time, and there will be a next time, I hope you make the same decision. We were only a mere 25 miles away from much of Southwest Florida being completely underwater. Next time, we can only hope to be so lucky.